Are you ready? They think you can tell us what to do. Break it down!
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Cos, what's going on, buddy? We back
Not
again.
much. Yeah. But number 3. Here we're actually on iTunes now.
And actually, things are getting
exciting.
better, man. Things are
How many-
getting
how many-
good. Yeah.
How many subscribers we had? I was
I'm
asking.
not too
like
sure. I don't
5,
even know how
6?
to check. Probably around that,
That's
Cos.
heavy.
It's a good start. It's 5
know
more
what
than
they
we
say,
had
man.
last week.
Here's a lesson, Joe. Here's a lesson I learned.
right.
You can.
You've been starting with these lessons, man. Jeez.
There's people who perform in front of 20,000 people, and there's people who perform in front of 5 people. If you're performing in front of 5 people, you got to give your best effort because those 5 people are your biggest fans ever. If just 5 of them are
Absolutely.
going.
I absolutely
go.
agree. So those 5 people who are listening, I'm sure are appreciating it. I've actually received a lot of compliments. So, I mean, people are
I
actually
haven't,
listening
so
and following.
that's nice.
So no one's reaching out to you then.
No, it's okay. Go through Joe.
That's
It's fine with it. Yeah. Well, some people spell my name with a K. That's fine.
That's all right. Isn't it in Greek?
see.
Isn't it with a K? Costa
Yeah,
Kladianos with a K.
Literally on the YouTube thing, it's with a C.
Yeah, but people want
you
to
gonna
be
put it with a K?
authentic Greek for you. They're trying to make it seem like they're trying to connect with you.
All right, so I'm Canadian though, with a Greek background. It's fine.
Are you taking advantage of legalized marijuana, Costa?
No, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Um,
Changing subject
next to
quickly.
the next question.
Next. Well,
No, but I think but yeah,
I'm
because we're
just happy
Canadian.
it is, you know what I mean? I'm just happy that I feel because I've been getting a lot since the Joe Rogan podcast. I got so many like daily messages on what CBD do I use. So I'm just happy now that I can get those from Canada. At least can get the quality CBD that I've been using for years. So I'm happy for that.
I think it's amazing. It's progressive. I think it's about time that politicians did something useful because they're so useless the rest of the time. I mean, yes, there are bigger problems in this world, but doesn't mean that these things shouldn't be taken care of because now we don't have to clog up the justice system by arresting people who are smoking a plant and not doing anybody any harm. We can also further study the medicinal effects of marijuana. And I mean,
absolutely,
there's a lot of purported good effects. I mean, I know CBD's done a lot for you. THC has a lot of great medical effects. I mean, there's enough evidence out there that we can really do some serious studies on it and help a lot of people. I mean, I've seen a lot of cases where it helped kids with epilepsy. I mean, anxiety, depression.
That's called,
side effects
for those who haven't watched it,
chemotherapy.
man, I loved it. It's called Charlotte's Web, how it helped with the epilepsy and the seizures. That's what actually started CBD, was that Charlotte's Web strand from Denver.
Yeah, I saw on CNN had a documentary Sanjay Gupta did with it where it helping a 5-year-old kid stop seizures, and people are going to say, no, don't do it. Like, give me a break.
But what's confusing me is I thought they were going to ban the laws in, like they're saying wherever you can smoke a cigarette, you can now smoke a joint. So if I'm walking down the street, apparently I can just smoke a joint and walk down the street. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I mean,
you know what, with me,
like you can't drink on the street. So why would you just be okay, like walking down the park and just smoking weed, right?
Yeah, because I'd rather deal with someone who's high than someone who's drunk. Someone who smokes weed is not going to go beat their wife, or they shouldn't be driving. 100%. Yeah, but they're I think alcohol is a lot more dangerous and is a lot bigger problem for society. But we all know that won't get taken care of. So I mean, hopefully with legalization of marijuana, more people use that instead of being heavy drinkers.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Because I brought this up to Mike's gym, Mike Passignier from Mike's gym, kickboxing coach legend.
Joel.
Well, I brought him up to him. I was like, well, you know what? We don't think about it, but what happens now, especially him being from Amsterdam? What happens when his athletes come in high? And it was just a question, because I'm like, if it's legal now, what happens if a lot of the fighters, the guys are now coming into training high, which is something now probably that more coaches in Canada are going to have to deal with. So I don't
think so. I think it's about being responsible. Joe, do you come to train when you're drunk?
No, but what I'm saying is people will do it. Look at the jiu-jitsu culture, right? Look at the jiu-jitsu culture. I bet you there's so many people who would probably have cannabis just before they roll.
Yeah,
right?
but that to them it has benefits. To them it has benefits, though.
Well, you're also talking as a man with a child and a family and a wife. I mean, we're talking about kids, like, early 20s, training and coming in high for training. It's definitely going to be something where we're going to have to watch out for, I think, anyways.
But you're telling me. But here's one of the things. People were doing it anyways. I don't think you're going to see the stats and that legalization is going to suddenly everyone's going to start smoking if they did before. Some people might try it, whatever. But the thing is, with legalization, you can now have an open conversation where you
Oh,
don't have to
absolutely.
hide in the corner and do it, and all. It's not taboo. You can have an open conversation about the benefits and being responsible and trying it as an adult. Because I don't think if there's a medical reason, kids should be doing it.
No,
Kids
like, I mean,
will in high school. I was in
kids in
kid
high
too,
school
so but
now.
whatever.
I was a high school
Yeah,
teacher, and I saw it every day.
yeah.
You know,
But
is
we
it
can
just
have the
going to increase
conversation.
it? And yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But
At
then
least
again, kids
that's
are getting drunk. I would rather a kid go and smoke weed in high school than get drunk. I think that being drunk can really screw up your life. Again, everybody does it. I did it in
everybody.
high school, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm Angel. But I think I'd rather someone smoke weed than get drunk. But again, you can have that conversation if it's legal. Where before it's like, oh, I'm gonna get arrested. Like, give me a break.
Well, this kind of opens up another question I had for you. TRT, and I mean, I
Right.
mean Belfort, and a lot of people are doing it now. And I know USADA has come out, and people are mentioning microdosing of testosterone in order to pass the USADA test. I just want to know what you know on that.
So that's a kettle of fish you open up there, Joe.
Yeah, it's
There's to
huge.
me
It's a huge
different.
question. I'm just doing what the general people do when they
Yeah.
ask us questions. The
So
most
so,
general
so
question ever. But yeah, just go off on it.
TRT and dosing and performance enhancing are two completely different things when you're talking about testosterone. Yes, the testosterone used in TRT is the same testosterone that's used in performance enhancing drugs. You take it, it makes you stronger, it makes you heal faster. But then again, there's also side effects of it when you take it and when you abuse it. And um, but TRT at a doctor supervised level for men with uh, low testosterone is a lifesaver. It's absolutely amazing, and they're finally just starting. It's starting to be accepted now as a treatment for male menopause,
Yeah,
andropause, as it's called.
yeah,
Because what we've seen is when your testosterone goes down as you get older, um, or if you're younger and you don't have high testosterone levels, you suffer from symptoms of depression, uh, weight gain, weight
yeah,
loss, lower bone density, worse heart health, and then that can be reversed through TRT. The issue is people are saying using TRT as a kind of an overall excuse to use it as a performance enhancement.
yeah.
So you look at the Vitor Belforts, and I don't know what he's taking. I don't know what he isn't taking. Hypothetically, that guy doesn't look like he's on TRT. He looks like he's on more than that, but I don't know. He could just have superior genetics. Who knows? But
But I mean, now
him,
they can't do it, right? Because of the limits that you're allowed or not. They can't.
you could do whatever you want, Joe. There's every way to pass the test.
But if you saw it as coming, I mean, I just worked out with Chad Lepre, UFC fighter. He's fighting UFC Toronto. He came by Bazooka, which was awesome. We got to work some good stuff. But he
Nice.
was saying like he had to log it in his app to say that he was at the gym. So they could have showed up at Bazooka Kickboxing and tested him right there. So it's so random that if you just take this microdose of testosterone, the test should find it. No.
The test will find microdosing. That's a myth that it won't. They it depends actually. No, let me take that back. It depends actually what ratio they're looking for. And I haven't looked at the way the USADA is testing, but how they used to do it was that you could have a 7-to-1 ratio of testosterone in your body. Anything over 2-to-1 and is considered high. So what these guys would do is they would microdose testosterone so they could get just under 7-to-1, where it would put them
It would
in the
not
top end.
flag, right? It wouldn't
Yeah, it would put
flag
them
the
at the
test.
top end of what should be normal, but they're getting those performance enhancing effects. That's only if you're not testing for testosterone or anabolic metabolites in your blood, which is or in your urine, which is a totally different way. But what this does is the guys with money or big backing can technically beat the system with some of the
smaller
science
guys.
that's out there, and the guys who are in the kind of the lower end who can't do it, can't afford the money to cheat the system, can do it. So I mean, you'd be stupid to thinking people aren't cheating the system. Like, I mean, at the top end of
I'm just trying
sport,
to
it's
think how
huge.
they are doing it now is my question, right? There's a big
Yeah,
thing on this
there's a million
how.
ways. So I mean,
The
with
old
guys who
way I
know,
remember was they called the IQ test, right? Where if you know the day you're getting tested, that's what guys would do, right? They would just shut it off so many days out before the test, and then you were clear. But that's why it was the IQ test. But now,
because no one should be on PEDs going into a fight. Like,
no,
there's no
absolutely.
point. It's when you want it when you're training, because that gives you the way to
benefits
train
of
harder,
recovery
faster, and gives you those that recovery benefit. But there could be undetectable stuff out there. I mean, THG, the clear. No one knew about it, and no one to this day will still know about it. The only reason that they found out about it was because there was a pissed off track coach. I forgot whose it was. I think was it Marion Jones's old track coach? Somebody who was pissed off or something, and sent in a needle, a syringe full of the clear to USADA and said, "Here, test this." USADA or somebody else test this.
Jeez.
And then they're like, holy shit, look at this. This is something we can't detect this. And then they developed a testing method. You still can't detect GH. They say there's testing out there, blah, blah, blah. There's no one's been caught positive for HGH. And then you look at all the high level people who've been caught. They haven't been caught through urine tests. Like, a lot of them have, yes, but a lot of people, like you look at Barry Bonds and all those, they were caught because people snitched on them, or they found other ways through testimony. So I mean, testing isn't 100% perfect. There's the cheaters will always be a step ahead of the testers, but I mean, whether you think it's right or wrong, that's a whole different story. I mean, there's nothing healthy about top level sports. I've always said, I believe kids should not take this stuff. I believe the regular gym goer, the regular person who just wants to look good, doesn't need to take this stuff because there's risks. TRT, again, different story. There's medical benefits.
A lot of my friends have been on TRT, like older friends, and I think the benefits have seemed amazing. And I still think, listening to the people who are doing it and talking about it more, I just think it's like cannabis. Like, once the stigma goes away, it's going to be positive for a lot of older men. I don't know.
It's absolutely amazing. The results you've seen and the people who've taken it, it's like a new lease on life for people.
And I mean, there was the why I'm bringing this up to Costa, but because I've been finding, I still do a lot of research on brain injuries, concussions, TBIs, and they were saying in an article, and this is why the topic came up, but with repetitive concussions and brain damage, there could be damage to the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, which causes imbalances in testosterone. So multiple head injuries could be causing all these hormone imbalances. So that's where I know Dr. I can't think of his name, Mark Gordon, is it? Has a lot of research on it, and he's been doing it with James Toney, the boxer, had it. So there's a lot of research out on hormone replacement and head injuries. So something interesting that people should keep their eye on anyways.
Absolutely. And I my stance on it, it's like, why is something that you use to build up your body and that has a positive effect and can recover from injuries, why is that illegal, where things like cortisone shots that actually break it down, or all these pain pills are legal, like Oxycontin and all these things that have terrible effects on you? Again, these pain pills and stuff have poor effects, but they also are medically necessary. So I'm not saying ban it, but I'm also just saying, why do you have things as testosterone is so evil when it has medical benefits? People abuse testosterone just like they abuse any pill, but then you'd have to ban all medications if that's what we're afraid of. I think, again, it's about education and research and finding the best uses for this, and educating the public on why abuse of these things doesn't make sense, but why there are legitimate medical uses for it. It's a gray area. People look at things in black and white. I hate looking at things in black and white. I like looking at both sides of the conversation. The answer is always somewhere in between.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out I'm drawing a brain freeze, but of the doctor's name, and it is Mark Gordon that is the specialist in head injuries and testosterone replacement. So Dr. Mark Gordon is doing a lot of good research for those who want to find out some more stuff.
We should get him on our podcast, Joe.
We should reach out to him because he's actually really good.
I'd love to talk to him. Yeah, I'd love to talk to him.
I would love to pick his brain. I've listened to a lot of his stuff on YouTube. It's he was also on Joe Rogan a few times, I believe. So a lot of this stuff would be good. Good for I mean, a lot of me here on this podcast too would like to bring in, different ways and specialists that people can help brain injuries, because anything like that.
I also want Bill Goldberg on here, Joe. Yeah, your boy.
Too. I know. We got to hit him up. He'd be awesome.
We got to hit him up. He loves you.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try.
He's a good guy. But, and I'm a wrestling fan, so I want him on here. Yeah. And he's huge, so he could tell us about lifting. Look the size.
That's it. There you go.
There you go.
She's
All right.
been. I've been getting a lot of compliments, man. People are telling me how jacked I'm looking. Thank you, sir.
You're looking pretty big, bro.
But you
Hey,
know
you
what it
decided to
is?
bodybuild after fighting?
It's funny. It actually is true because what people aren't understanding, everyone thinks I'm actually looking bigger, but I actually lost about 10 pounds. I've been using, obviously, you hate this, but the intermittent
Oh, yeah.
fasting mixed with.
I don't hate intermittent fasting. I hate some of the people who do it
Yeah, Danny's
because they're
listening. You
ridiculous.
ripped Danny, who's listening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because here's
you've
my
been ripped
problem,
down.
Joe. Here's my problem with intermittent fasting. Here's my problem with any damn diet out there. Okay, intermittent fasting, yeah, it works fine. If it fits your macros, works. Yeah, keto works. All those things, they all work. And I've said it a million times before. And let's talk about intermittent fasting. What I'm annoyed about. Everybody got to take everything to extremes. Why do I? And I think it's because people just want to put on the internet on their Insta story. I'm not calling anybody else specifically.
Danny's calling you out, bro.
But it's like, yeah, man, I did it. I didn't eat for 42 hours.
But it's an
Congratulations.
accomplishment. Can you do it? The problem is, Costa,
I feel that's not intermittent fasting. That's
feel-
anorexia.
I feel you don't know how to do it or appreciate it because I don't think you're mentally
want
strong
to.
enough to be able to do it because you're.
Why would I want to not eat for 42? Give me a reason why I'm going to not want to eat for 42 hours,
Because
Joel.
there's all of the different research that's talking about how it's good for you, from the autophagy.
How is that?
you
That
know-
is not good for you. 42 hours.
I'm telling you,
There's
man,
no
I
chances that's good for you, Joe.
feels good.
Just
Try
because you
it.
say there's research doesn't mean there's actually
Accomplishment.
research.
Well, I've read a couple textbooks on it and I'm following through with it. I mean, I get what you're saying though, and I think it's individual, but I think if you could even teach yourself that little bit of mind control, just because your stomach tells you you're hungry, I got to go run to a fridge. I think it teaches you how to be, mentally strong. And I think people are too weak to even not eat for 24 hours and they're just weak minded. And I think
I'm
it
sorry.
helps
We got a
teach-
lot of people around this world who,
weak-minded
they'll have a meme
people
who
can't
who aren't lucky as us to have all this abundance of amazing food. And they're like, you willingly starve yourself for 42 hours? Are you people crazy?
Well, in Danny's case, Danny could speak for it. Danny's lost almost 50 pounds in 4 weeks, man. So he's got to do something.
What did you say? 50 pounds, Joe?
50 pounds.
No, he didn't lose 15, you mean?
5-0.
Yeah,
Danny, come
it
out
was
here,
like
buddy.
about
He lost 5-0, 45
yeah,
pounds.
4
45
weeks.
in 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks.
And
Bro,
how are
that's
your-
not healthy
And
at
how
all.
are your energy levels, Danny?
Perfectly fine.
Guys, are you guys?
I'm telling you,
Guys, that's
he's
not good
lost
at all.
that. He's been.
Joe, are you kidding me right
I'm
now? You're
telling
telling me
you.
losing 50 pounds in 4 weeks is okay?
It's been 5 weeks. He's been feeling amazing.
I can't believe what I'm hearing there.
It's been incredible.
Okay, guys, leave in the comments. Do you agree that
I'm telling you, bro, we've
that
done
losing
it
50
properly.
pounds because
We've
I'm
done
losing
it
my mind
straight.
here?
I'm telling you,
This is
right now.
horrible. I don't want people to hear this and
doing
think
it.
losing 50 pounds in 4 weeks is okay. This is
He's done it
ridiculous.
in the healthiest, safest possible way, and his energy.
There is no. He wasn't
There you
even fat
go.
to begin with.
It was
I was
huge,
pretty
man.
big.
Danny,
I was pretty big.
speak,
Yeah, I
man.
was like 225.
Not 50 pounds in 4 weeks. Lost big. 220 to.
Costa, I'm
Bro.
telling you right now, he was bigger than you think, man.
This is
And
not
he was
healthy.
able to
I
do
was.
it, and he was good just from mixing
I'm
it
very
around.
much against this. I'm very much against this. This is not healthy.
I'm telling you, he's
No
the
one
best
listens to
shape
me.
of his life. It feels great.
I'm working out twice
He
a day.
just-
This is not something we should be telling our youth. Got to eat healthy. Not
It is eating
lose 50
healthy.
pounds in 4 weeks.
I every day at least do 16 to 18 hours. I've been the leanest in the best shape I've ever been. So
Yeah, but Joe,
through
you're
my
the exception to the
experience-
rule. Here's
Exception
something.
to the
Here,
rule.
let's
Danny
get
losing
let's
50
get off
pounds,
this.
feeling greater.
We're not
feeling
going to agree
amazing
on
is
this.
not good.
I'm not going to endorse losing
No, I
50
know
pounds
you
in 4
won't.
weeks. No way, no how. But let's go off of you saying that you
But
do it.
Costa, of the 50
You're a
pounds,
different
let's be
animal.
honest, how much water is in that weight? He's probably
15. I
before-
would have said okay, 15 is fine. That's still
I'm
that's
telling
but
you,
50
man.
pounds is
With the
I don't
keto, he's using his fat as a fuel source, and it's melting off his body. And he's eating a lot of
He's
fat.
doing intermittent fasting, not keto. You said.
I'm
He's
doing
doing
both.
both. He has done both, and he
Why
works out
bother
with
eating
me.
ever?
And he works out with me, okay, every day to twice a day. He's working out every day with me, and he's
Over
doing
the
a
long
proper
term,
strength
this is going to
conditioning.
have serious health effects on
he
Danny. Over the
adds-
short term, no, because the body is an
I
amazingly
understand that, but
resilient
he
thing.
adds cheat days. He adds a lot of big carb cheat
do.
days. He
Once a week.
he takes his rest days. He'll add 2 meals in some days. Some days he'll only fast for 16. The other days
I
he'll
don't
do
care for
longer
losing
ones.
50 pounds in 4 weeks, Joe.
I'm telling you, and he's the best feeling he's ever been in
That
his
is
life.
true.
So
Because he's probably delirious.
that's funny.
Like, are you kidding?
It's been
There's
great.
there's nothing going to the brain. There's no
hold on.
nutrition
I
there.
have something to bring up. Remember, I told you, Costa, I have something to bring up. True or false? Okay, I have to bring this up because you'll appreciate it. So Danny comes for a workout, okay, and he walks in. He usually wears track pants. All right.
Okay.
So usually I'm like, Danny, I was like, why don't you put your shorts on one day? And he's like, I just don't really like to wear shorts because he's in the weight process. He's getting more comfortable. The other day he comes in, takes off the track pants. He's in full tights, bro. Full out tights, like spandex
That's heavy.
tights. He came out and then the excuse was, this is where I want to think. He said all of his shorts were dirty, so he had to wear.
If
the
I work out
tights.
twice a day, every day, come on, that's justified excuse.
I was like, Danny,
What about the scar? Does everybody know the Scarborough thing where you have to wear? You're only allowed to wear track pants with shorts underneath, and everyone outside of Scarborough finds that weird, just in case the game breaks out.
Spandex pants, and we were like, "Whoa, what's happening, man?" I was like, "Danny just threw that out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. He went from not even wanting to wear shorts into full out spandex, which I'm happy
because he's delirious,
now.
bro. I'm telling you, more evidence that something's not up. Right
next, he's gonna go in those little short bicycle ones with the nice short leather or something. Nice short spandex.
Those are heavy.
Yeah, Danny, you got to step it up, bro.
Danny, just do it, man.
I'll look in New York.
Yeah, bro, get it going.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Cause I got one more thing to pick your brain before we get out of here.
I'm already annoyed, so let's go.
I know you are. But it's a couple of things I've been seeing with a lot of people lately is that overtraining word, man. It's people aren't understanding it. And I'm finding it more with especially these MMA fighters. It's getting ridiculous. Too many of them are getting injured around me. 2 of them are not performing well. It's getting bad. There's too much in MMA. And I feel guys feel like they have to do too much, and it's crazy
because it's social media. Because they see other guys doing it for social media, they're like, "Oh, this is where I got to train." It's that macho attitude. I mean, that if you got to get your nutrition right. Pause.
Yeah.
And then
keto.
I mean, going 42 hours and losing 50 pounds in 4 weeks isn't going to help, according to me. But anyways, what are you going to do, Joe? How do you educate? How do you tell them? Like, you've been railing about going on about overtraining. They train 3 times a day. Got to do this. I feel like I'm not training enough. What are you going to do? It's that old school mentality still persists. I mean, there's still people who say that when they lift weights or they do any upper body work, they feel stiff. Okay. And they don't want to do body weight work. Yeah. It's like,
I just think there's too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to MMA, especially. And I think that's the biggest issue. They go to these 3 different sessions with 3 different coaches, and guys value too much of little things, right? I mean, you took an MMA guy, he's going to go to a boxing coach, usually a kickboxing coach. Sometimes they're one, and then they go to their jiu-jitsu, then they have a wrestling, and then they have a strength and conditioning. It's just too much.
But they don't have a head coach. And here's where guys like TriStar,
point is, excel.
Your gym, like all these, and everybody with a head coach who can organize your training. Someone who's there, say, okay, map it out. This is what we're going to do. So that way everyone stays in their lane, sticks to what they know. He has a schedule. He or she has a schedule. They have a nutrition. They know what they're doing. This person monitors them. You need a head coach. And you can't be going, like you said, your boxing coach is going to tell you one thing. Your jiu-jitsu coach is going to tell you another thing. And some of these people are out there with their thoughts, man. So you need someone to bring them down to earth too, because while you may be a great jiu-jitsu coach, a lot of these guys think they know everything about weight training. Oh, you should be doing this, doing that.
What's your
nutrition?
Take?
Oh, doing this.
What's your take now on you don't have a head coach? Would you use heart rate? Would you do the heart rate way to assess or what?
If I'm serious, Joe, enough to be going to different coaches, I would absolutely have a head coach.
Well, it's not about the seriousness. It could be a financial thing, right? Maybe in the city.
If you have different coaches, your finances are okay.
Well, not
you know what I mean? If you're
going
to 3
doing
things
it for free, or you might be, it's different. I'm telling you, most fighters are not making the money. Yeah, but if you can invest, you're investing the time. A lot of the people don't have the money. They're, renting and sleeping in gyms. It's not all lucky, You
got to find a head coach. It's part of the game. You can't play hockey without a stick, Joe. You can't, you can't lift a weight without well, you can. There's different ways for that. Bad example, but you can't play baseball without a glove or a bat. It's part of the game. I'm sorry. If you don't have a head coach, you will not be 100% successful because your training will never be organized. And you cannot, I'm sorry. I don't care how smart you are, how good you are not impartial, and you cannot be your own head coach. That's why Sidney Crosby has a coach, and Connor McDavid. I'm again Canadian hockey, but every one of the greats has a head coach, has coaches, because you are not impartial to yourself. And if you can't find one, then you're not going to be optimal. That it is what it is. Find a guy who can do it for you.
Yeah. Well, I get you. But I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's an issue still. I mean, I gave it to an example to my MMA guy. The whole example was what's happening is he wants to do more sessions. You know, he's like, oh, there's this, there's more. I'm getting this. I'm like, but if you say you do 15 sessions in a week and you're doing each of these sessions at 60% because you know you have that other section or the third session of the day, you never really fully exert yourself or really practice at a rate and a level you should be. So
You'll see it in your results. You'll be feeling like shit.
well, I mean, then there's
You'll be
also the
hurt.
point of like, just think coaches need to distinguish more in training blocks. And I say, okay, well, if you're at a camp, maybe today's a technical day, not to build it in, but it's the multiple coaches. So if he goes to wrestling and all of a sudden his wrestling coach is like, oh, we need to do conditioning at the end of wrestling. So he comes in, then all of a sudden he comes into kickboxing, he's tired. And now with the kickboxing, I'm doing conditioning because I'm like, oh, you're looking crap. Now you need to pick it up. So then now he's getting double, triple conditioning, and now he's overtrained and tired and sick.
If you're someone who's going to be competitive fighting or competitive combat sports, you should not be doing these things where you do the conditioning after wrestling or conditioning after kickboxing. That's fine for the general public or going in and do it for fun. But if you're being a professional at this, be a professional. Everybody's got, like I said, everyone's got to stay in their lane. I don't want my jiu-jitsu coach teaching me conditioning after, especially if I'm training for a fight. I want everyone to stick to their expertise because this is serious business, and again, have a head coach to have that conversation because as a fighter, if you're having that conversation with your different coaches, they're going to get pissed off. They're going to be like, oh, you don't want to do my training. So that way, let the head coach do it. That's why people have agents to deal with money so that the actual athlete or the entertainer doesn't have to deal with it. So he can focus. That's why that's why a head coach should be. He should be that kind of the middleman. Yeah. And it's people who try and do too much of their own stuff. They get their head into too many things, and then it's spinning, and then they're not optimal. Like, this is a business, This is a top athlete has to train. I don't care what sport you're in. If you're at the top of your game, if you're an elite level athlete, you're a business. You should treat it like a business. You should not think do this, do that. Get your team right, get your camp right, take charge of things, get the best at what you're doing. Don't do your own research as well. But you know what? A baseball player wouldn't go out there and and just go fart around to these different places. They take a scientific and methodical approach. It's organized. With fighting, it's still that little bit of that old school mentality of the people from the street. And those are the ones who lose. The people who win or who are at the top are these people who treat it like a business. Connor treats it like a business. He's a little crazy, but whatever. He treats it like a business. He's at the top. He lost. Khabib, that guy treats it like a business. Look at his camp. Every elite athlete treats their game like a business. If you don't, you're just going to be a has-been or a wannabe or never live up to your potential. Like, you ask me how to go around these things. You can't. If you had gone around these things, you wouldn't have become a champion. We had to make sure that we treated it like a sport, like a business. And that's what people don't understand.
Business.
Like a business.
Like a business.
Business.
All right, let's kind of wrap it up, but I got things to do. I'm already packing for New York. I leave in a couple days. Glory New York.
Someone was asking about why we use... Hold on. I promised somebody I'd answer him a question on YouTube.
I was going to say, I want two quick questions. You got to answer the questions, and then I want you to give a quick... we're releasing 2 supersets, power to explosive supersets. So you're just going to quickly touch on that if that's possible. I'll use the word quickly. Because your rant, I want to talk about overtraining, and you just ranted for like half an hour. So
yeah, that's why I said we only do 2 questions a show. Okay, so can I talk the question because I promised the guy? So one of the guys on one of your videos asked why you do traditional push pull over full body 3 days a week because full body is better. This is the type of stuff. It's like, come on, man. How many times do I got to repeat myself? There's a million ways to do it. The way I've trained, I like push-pull. It's been very effective for the athletes. I have 20 years experience. I have a lot of athletes that it's worked for. You know what? And I know some coaches. I know a lot of coaches who do 3 times a week full body, and it works for their guys. Absolutely. There's no one way. If there was one way of doing things, there would be no need for coaches. I could just go on a book and just do it. the reason you have coaches because it's an art. It's an art and a science, and you got to find what's most effective for your athletes, your coaching style, and your athlete style,
Same as
and
fighters.
do that.
Same as fighting.
And push pull is very effective. Here's why I think it's effective for my athletes. And there, you have to have a reason why you're doing it. You can't just say I'm doing this because I decided to. I've gotten great results, but at the beginning, I felt that if you can focus on one area, it's easier on your nervous system that day, and you're able to put 100% of your effort into that area and really get that performance improvement. And then when you work that next area, you're fully recovered from the other one. So I found that when I work with my guys,
this is what they're understanding. It's not
no, we're doing explosive, but push pull, we're just using that. We're not doing traditional bodybuilding push pull.
So a lot of people think it's a lot of traditional bodybuilding movements.
No, there is some bodybuilding exercises in there because you do need some hypertrophy, but there's explosive, there's strength building, whatever. It's a mix. But also, I found that when my guys were doing full body, they weren't getting the benefit that I saw, and they were really breaking down. It was a lot. They got overtrained a lot. So I found it's the best way. But you know what? If you're athletes and if it's working for you, the 3 times a week full body, then do it. It's not best. The question as to why I'm doing it is valid, but don't say something else is best. That's a Tino question. That's a Tino question. It's all right. It's a good question. That was a good question. I appreciate it.
And this week we put in, I think there's 2 videos being released. One is going to be a push day superset. The other one is going to be a lower body superset where we do a strength exercise and then we superset it with an explosive. We did an overhead shoulder press, single arm to a med ball throw. Costa, explain why we did the overhead. I explained it quickly in the video talking about the balance development of the shoulder.
I like to work in different planes, okay? Because, you're always punching. If you're always punching, everyone's like, oh, okay, we should only be doing out ahead of us, right? But you have to work every plane. So we work a little bit overhead, we work pull, we work push, because what happens is if you're only training one area, that's the area that builds, you develop a weakness. And talk about the shoulder. If you're always pushing, only those muscles and tendons get developed, and you get a weakness in the other muscles, and everything works together in your body. And if one area is weak, that's how you get injuries. So you gotta work every area equally. You can not equally. Some areas may have a little more emphasis depending on your strength points and weak points, but you have to work every axis. You have to work every plane when you're working out to ensure that you have maximal development and maximal prevention against injury. So that's why we did that.
Yeah, and then we did, for the other one coming out, it's going to be a trap bar supersetted with hurdle jumps. We did static ones and repetitive.
Yeah.
And that's it. Nice. So, yeah, those are good.
I like trap bar. Trap bar,
I actually did one. I actually tripped on one. And Danny's going to put it in the video. I actually tripped on a hurdle, so it's going to be a little
Bazooka Joe is fallible. My God.
But the problem is, it's like, I'm doing the videos, I'll completely work out, and then I do the videos after a lot of the time. So I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and then I want to look good for the video. So I'll raise the...
Just admit you're human. Why we got to get a whole story here?
No, because I have to give the excuse for
I fell. I fell once. I did it. I fell. It happened. All right.
Perfection.
My God. This is the part of the show no one's listening to anyway, so it's fine.
Well,
we're on podcast now. People might be listening in the cars.
Well, I know on my video it says I have about 3 minutes remaining, so we got to wrap it up.
All right, so let's cut it off.
All right,
friends. That was nice. Enjoy New York.